Please welcome to stage co-founder and CEO, Qodo, Itamar Friedman.
Hey everyone, really excited to be here. And I'm going to talk about something beyond security or in addition to security, which is quality. It's going to be well connected. You're going to see that. And basically achieving high quality software. And I think we will talk about how these things are actually going to integrate well together. I think it's one of 2026 theme where different tools that are orthogonal to each other are actually going to collaborate with each other pretty well. So I'm Itamar Friedman, the CEO and co-founder. By the way, because it's a small audience, I will share a few stories. For example, Qodo stands for Quality of Development. And yes, we are previously Codium, okay? You can come and talk to me before about that. So it's amazing to think about, like, just a year ago, we had Sonnet 3.5, right? That started to enable the vibe coding. And the vibe coding actually, like, really kicked off just this year. It's incredible, like February 2025. And then, like, it didn't take too much time, only 2 months later or so, where we saw people, and by the way, the red hair developer is not myself. I'm actually a machine learning practitioner. So, like, didn't take too much time that, people that are actually developing heavy duty software think this way, that with all respect to vibe coding, like, there are problems. And it's not just that red hair developer, but it's also like respective people from the industry. I guess you're familiar with Gregory. And actually we just saw Swix on stage right now, 5 minutes before. He defined vibe coding as rest and peace, right? So I actually am not sure I agree with him like completely. It's a better meme this way, a better tweet this way, but it's not true, but I don't think it's completely true. I think there's two things. First of all, like, vibe coding is evolving into something else that I'm going to talk about, and also, like, it's still really useful for greenfield and proof of concept, etc. Right? And one of the things that Karpati is, like, really thoughtful. He actually, although he coined the term vibe coding, he came back after a few months and saying, "Hey, code I really care about is actually needs to do something else in vibe coding," and he gave solutions. So first of all, he said context in everything. Like, context is king for code generation in high quality, code review, which is what we specialize at Qodo, code quality, etc. And then there are workflow, dedicated workflows that are different than each other, not one workflow that takes all of the world, but dedicated workflows to tackle different part of software development. So basically what I'm saying here is that I think we're going to see vibe coding turn into viable coding. I'm not sure that everybody will call it this way because it's not that cool, right, as vibe coding, but practically, like, the purpose of vibe coding, by the way, I'll call it vibe driven development, was flow. We love it as developers. We can flow. We actually, the software development was quite, like, challenging, and suddenly, like, it flows. And we want to maintain that, but in order to turn it into viable coding, we need to enhance it a little bit, like, make it more thoughtful. So our context, like, comes with a lot of planning. Flow comes with quality that is injected together, and then the review, like, is really well connected with remediation, and more than that. I'm going to share a bit more about this later. So basically what we're trying to do is, leveling up with AI, the context, more than like a thoughtful prompt, actually like a proper senior level spec. And then when we're doing, like, the flow, which is really fun, we want to have background agent that actually, checks the quality, because we don't want to ruin the flow, right? And then in the review process, we want to reinforce and even enforce quality, ownership, and learning. Remember, like, code review processes, by the way, it's an anecdote, like opening a bracket. It's not just about quality. Code review process is also about learning and owning code together, right? It's not the same person necessarily going to be later on and root code analysis at middle of the night. So that's like how we want to turn it viable, and basically is responsible vibe coding. Okay, so now I'm going to show a demo how I'm going to do vibe coding all the way to production. I was kidding. My entire purpose here is to say that that's not the way to go. But still, like, how do we turn it into viable? Okay, like how good the code really is, when you're just doing vibe coding. So first of all, like one way that I'm going to show you like a process. I'm going to show you a process of how we're going to take the review process and shift it left, okay? And then like that middle sentence that I wrote there, that we're going to do flow plus quality, you'll have like a glimpse of what I'm talking about, okay? So in this specific case, and I'm going to try to do like a live demo soon, in this specific case, like in Qodo in the IDE, you can ask for a local review. Okay, and the local review has a dedicated UX UI. I just saw someone asking on Twitter, can I have like code review on steroid with dedicated review, UX UI, etc. That's exactly what we're showing here, like specific flows, specific background flows, etc. that are dedicated for UX UI, for code review, that is happening right inside your ID. But more than that, you can actually like connect the agents themselves to as follow. One second. Yeah, so you actually can connect the agent themselves. For example, what I'm showing you here is like a really cool trick some of our clients are doing. Every time, if you're using Cursor, every time that you are using Cursor, you open a draft PR. And then you tell Cursor in the rules, once in a while, commit changes. You add Qodo in Cursor, okay? You add Qodo in Cursor with specific workflows, etc. that you can go. I can share later. Come to our booth, like number 10. We can show you how to do that. And then these two agents will talk to each other, okay? While Cursor is working and gathering more and more tasks and completing them and committing, you would see Qodo running in the background. Now, what's the idea of Qodo? That it has standard, like specialized flows, specialized technology that is relevant to understanding standards of your repo and your organization. And then that's the reason why it will fetch like very different issues than rather running a simple flow with Cursor. Now, the thing is that you can also find Qodo connected to Snyk. Okay, like in one tool. Okay, in one tool that I'm going to show you right now, it's a bit small. So of course I tried it just a minute before to verify because it is like it is live demo. So I'm having here like certain changes I made, rather with an AI or myself, whatever, and I can ask a local review even before I open a PR, like shifting left. And what you see like is Qodo is analyzing the changes and then also calling Snyk code scan because we're checking like changes that are made right now, and that triggers the MCP by Snyk and returning different results. Actually, it found 3 issues. Okay, and then you're going to get like a dedicated workflow that explains how this specific changes in the code work. What are the behaviors? What are the changes? Like, it's really hard to really understand like 1,000 line of code that were changed by Cursor or Windsurf or Copilot or whatever. Like, it's so hard to follow it. So then you get one workflow that does a local review, connects to relevant tools like Snyk, etc., and then offers also to resolve them, to remediate, etc., rather with its own agents or with the partner's agent like Cursor or whatever. Okay, and you can see that actually potential bugs are found here, and soon you'll see also Snyk's suggestions that are actually severe in this like side project. Okay, so back to my slides. I'm jumping a bit like 30,000 feet again. And do you remember those days that we were going to, I'm an old model, by the way, I don't know if it looks like that or not, but in university, we were like, Once upon a time, I even go to a library. Like, it's very nostalgic, but you don't want to go back to that, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm even not going to ask you to raise your hand. Like, Google is more than it's more than knowing like which books to tell you to fetch. It has a lot of knowledge, and especially when we're talking about LLMs, etc. I think that's the same transformation that you're going to see in software development. Right now, you're using LLM, you're using agents. They're very stateless. Okay, they're good as they're going to a library and they're trying to understand where are the files, where are the books. They're not yet like a complete knowledge base. And I claim that, you remember this famous like term, whatever can be digital will be digital? I claim that whatever can be agentified will be agentified. Okay, like we're turning apps into agents, and we're digitizing everything, we're including digitizing knowledge. This is obvious. I'm just claiming that we didn't really properly transform software development. What needs to be done in order to do that is actually like one of the blocks there, which is software DB. Right now, our entire DB sits there, our entire code base sits in a raw form. Yes, I am talking about advanced retrieval augmented generation, advanced RAG, but that includes much more than just indexing the code base. It includes automatically learning your standards, your quality best practices, etc. And over time, like really being that second brain, okay? And then this is the moment where we can do more than like properly like shift left. We can do something we call shift up. While you are even in the planning phase, you can already get suggestions on best practice on planning, best practice on how to generate a prompt to start with to have better code, higher quality code. Now, while the first generation of code generation were like plug and play, like an Apple, like an iPhone, I want to warn you that the fourth generation, I'm not going to go through all, like the one with the memory, the one with the second brain, will require you to like put some efforts. But the good product will actually help you to build your second brain, but it will require some effort from your side. But that's where we're going into. Context engineering, learning, workflow, creating a second brain for a dev organization. And that's where you will really transform software development for heavy-duty software. Right now, what I think you're seeing, in a good case, that 20% of your coding gets improved, when you're doing that maybe 20% of your time, and you don't really know if you didn't hurt the other parts, the quality, the testing, the resilience of your code, maintainability. In order to really reach that, you need to build like a really good context engine that helps throughout the entire software development to create quality workflows, etc. And that context engine, that second brain, needs to digest a lot of things. That's what I told you. It's more than advanced RAG. Needs to digest code, documentation, PRs. How many of you actually have, you know, some of your knowledge in the developer's discussion in the pull request, right? Quite a lot. So that's one of the things that we specialize at Qodo. And when I told you that I'm telling you need to invest because that's what we do for our clients. And when I say investment, I mean like putting one person or two for a month to make sure that the context engine is digesting properly all the company's code. That's the only way you could do proper code review, proper quality workflows, and then shift left and shift up and everything and move forward. So this is the only, like, I know I talked quite a lot about Qodo. I didn't use all my cards to like shameless plug to, try to brag. For example, our context engine, I will use some of them now. Our context engine, for example, was selected #1 for Gartner report. Jensen, the CEO of NVIDIA, gave us a shout out on our context engine in the GTC keynote. And it's really something we take seriously when we do code review, and you can see that's the bottom of our architecture, the bottom of our offering. And the number one use case that you will see from us is AI code review. Okay, that's the like the 1 minute bragging and showing off Qodo. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for listening to me. And I'll be most of my time like in the booth over there, number 10. I'll be happy to take any question and geek out about the future, the present, the integration between different security tools like Snyk to Qodo. And have a great day.